The R&D tax credit is a credit that allows you to reduce your taxes. And one of the purposes that we have for the R&D credit, of course, it is to reduce your taxes, and it goes right against your tax. A lot of things that we do to strategize to reduce tax, what we call liability, which means you owe money to the government, is by reducing the income through deductions. But a credit is something that will hit right against the tax. So if I owe $40,000 in tax, then I get a credit for $10,000. Now I only owe $30,000. And the R&D credit is great because in business, what happens is that each of us are trying to better the business. That's what makes it grow, and people want to come into it. So we're learning and understanding what our processes are. Great example of this is in a dentist office. If you go into the dentist office, you're basically going in, and as you go for a cleaning, you come to the front desk and you talk to the person there, and they check you in. And as we go through this, we'll kind of talk about each person that you interact with and how that reflects to the credit. Then you're going into the room, and you usually have a dental hygienist come in, clean your teeth. They use fluoride and go through all the processes of making sure that you don't have cavities. They do that through x-rays and other things. And then the dentist comes in for 5 minutes. They've already looked at the x-rays, saw what was happening, and tells you about your teeth and how good they are or bad they are and what you need to do to fix them. So coming back to the beginning, it's about the people that you interact with. So that front desk receptionist, part of her wage can be part of the credit that we use. So there's wages, there's supplies, and there's computer equipment that can be used in this tax credit. So her wage is part of it, the computers that she's using, because that computer usually interacts with other dentists in the area. So you have people that are general dentists, and then you have people that deal with things that are much higher, and there's computers are connected from one office to another. That's the great thing about doing it. That's a process that they go through. Then we go to the dental hygienist, and they usually are wearing glasses, a shield. They have like an apron on. You get to put an apron on. They have some of that nice gritty stuff that they put in your teeth, which is really fun to get them clean. And then they do a fluoride treatment. All of those things are considered supplies. So things that they're wearing and things are going on. The hygienist's wage will also be a part of that, credit as well. So it goes into what we're looking at as we look through this process. Dentist comes in, they're usually wearing glasses as well. They've got some sort of clothes or aprons or something on generally as well, so those are all supplies that they're using. As they do the x-rays, they also come into play, and the equipment that they have and the things that they put in your mouth, those are all part of the supply pieces that you have along the way too. Educating yourself in how to run the equipment also comes into play in this process too. So it doesn't matter really what business you're in. We deal with a lot of medical people, but what happens here is that we're looking for wages and supplies and computer equipment that you're using in your processes. So we want to outline what are your processes and how can we take that expenses that you have and use them in this credit. As we go through and see what those processes are, we add up all of those things, and then we take a certain percentage of those, and that's through calculations that we have and that were based on the actual code itself. And then what happens is it gets calculated out at a certain percentage, and you receive this credit. The credit then goes on your business and then is transferred through your K-1 to your personal tax return. Personal tax return then takes it. If it's $10,000, I owe $40,000. Now I only owe $30,000. So it's great in reducing your tax liability just for keeping track of your processes in your business, which is something you want to be doing anyhow.